Ooh, 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 ah, ooh.
Hey guys, welcome back. So let's get right into it. First, you're going to take your fabric. I used a 4-way stretch fabric, which means it can stretch 4 ways basically. I'm going to fold it in half and lay it down. For the materials, I'm going to use an elastic band, any tube top that I have, and some shorts. The tube top, I put the 2 different kinds up for you guys to see. One of them is like a rectangular piece, and the one that I just laid right now has like an oval shape at the top, so you can choose whichever piece you want to use. I choose this piece. I laid it down flat on my fabric. As you can tell, it's folded in, and I'm going to pin them. After pinning them, I'm going to then bring in the shorts, lay the shorts flat on the fabric right next to the top. I'm going to pin it and cut it. When cutting it, I left a half a seam allowance on the upper and the lower side, not for the waist because I wanted the waist to be a little bit tighter on me, so I did not leave a seam allowance on the waist. After cutting it out, it should look something like this. So I will go in and cut a little bit more space from the crotch area because I wanted it to be a little bit bigger. Next, we're gonna flip the fabric. We're going to have right sides facing each other, and we're going to pin them. After pinning all around it, we are going to sew the areas that I indicated. Sewing them, we're going to use a zigzag stitch. Preferably, if you have a serger tool, use a serger. It is way easier to use a serger on a stretch fabric than to use a zigzag stitch for me, but since I did not have a serger, I used a zigzag stitch. After that part is done, we're going to move on to the next piece, which is the elastic band that goes on top of the romper. For this part, we're going to measure around our bust area, and that we're going to divide it by 2. After dividing it by 2, I left maybe like 2 or 3 more inches additional to that, and I cut it. When I cut it, I realized the elastic was way too big for me, so I cut it in half again. After cutting it in half, I measured how wide the elastic is, and that's the space that I knew that when I sewed the hem of the top part, that's how much space to leave. So for instance, if the elastic that I cut was 1 inch, sewing it, I will leave a 1 inch and a couple quarters space so the elastic can fit in that hole. So after that, I'm going to go all the way around. I'm going to mark my spots, and I'm going to pin them.
Voice messaging system.
We're going to pin it all the way around so we can sew So in this again, we're going to use the zigzag stitch and we're going to leave a 1-inch opening. That 1-inch opening is where the elastic will go in at. So do not forget to leave a 1-inch opening. It doesn't necessarily have to be 1 inch. It could be however inch you want it to be, as long as the elastic can fit through. So then we're going to move on. We're going to look for our safety pin. We're going to insert our safety pin into the elastic, and then we're going to use our safety pin as a guide to loop the elastic through the area we just sewed. After looping it all the way around, I will take out the safety pin. I will connect the two elastic end pieces together and sew a zigzag stitch again. After sewing that, I will cut off any excess piece that I see, and I would then try to insert the elastic all the way in so you wouldn't be able to see it. After inserting everything in, I would then stitch over it. That 1-inch spot that we left open, I will go over and stitch over that spot. Moving on, we will then go on to our hem piece, which is the leg part. We will fold it about 1/2 inch or however much you please. We will fold it all the way around, pin it, and we are going to also sew a zigzag stitch all the way around both legs. After sewing, it should look something like this. So here's the completed piece. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for my next video.